Thank you to anybody who clicked on this video. This is the first upload that I'll be putting on my YouTube channel, the new one, Darth. The reason I created this channel was because I needed something to fill my time, considering I'm unemployed, and also considering the fact that I want to learn more skills and I want to be more proactive, and I also just want to get my ideas out there. So a couple reasons, but those are the main ones right there. Now, I have a written down list of ideas that I wanted to get out to the internet, I guess, or just really a way to express my ideas and feelings and practice my video editing. Oh, that's another reason I forgot to mention. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about how sleep is so important. It's literally the basis for everything else. And I'll share my personal experience with the fact that when I was a little kid, I lived like complete. And it wasn't necessarily my fault, mostly because I just didn't know. I wasn't informed like I am now. And I feel like there's a lot of teenagers and other young men around my age. I just turned 16 on the 6th. And I feel like a lot of people that are similar in my situation kind of had the exact same experience growing up. And it's that I kind of ate whatever and I slept however I wanted and I low-key just did whatever I wanted. If anything, I was one of those kids who actively avoided sports. Like somebody would be like, hey, do you want to play soccer or play football or hang out with us or do this athletic thing? And in my mind, I had the identity of, no, that's not me. I don't do athletic stuff. And so I would even fight against it. It wasn't even that I was trying to be like a slob or whatever. It was just that I thought, oh, I'm not cut out to do sports. I'm not good at sports and I won't. And also I thought it was like, oh, sports are so hard, I shouldn't want to do them. And I swear this all ties into sleep. So anyway, I probably will make other videos talking about diet and habits as well, because I would sit most of the day I was sedentary and I'd sit down and I'd play video games. But that's a discussion for another day. What I came here to talk about was my sleep. Now, if anybody knows about sleeping like it's me. I used to identify with being an insomniac or like a night owl or anything like that. And to be frank, that's all bullshit. Completely, just straight up. It is. It's all bullshit. Because a lot of people who say that, they just have terrible habits. So when I was like a younger kid, and I'm talking like an actual kid, not like a metaphorical kid, like when I was like 7 or younger or a little bit older, 9, 7, like I'd say 7 to 12, that type of age, I would be up so late every night, mostly because I was on my computer. I'd be watching YouTube videos or playing games, etc. And I'd be on my computer and I would go late into the AMs, most nights 4 a.m. And there were even some nights where I would pull all-nighters. And then how do you think that ended with me feeling at the end of the day? Like and I slept through all the days and I had naps all the time and I always felt fatigued and weak and weird. And people may wonder, well, why is that? Well, it was because my sleep was terrible. And it really affects so much more than you could even imagine. Like when I was a kid, I would get sick very often. I would come up with colds. I was always kind of that kid who had a running nose all the time. I was a little sniffly, that type of thing. And I just thought I had a weak immune system. I mean, that's what my family would tell me. They'd say, hey, you just have a weak immune system, or oh, you're sensitive, that type of thing. But that wasn't the case. It was just the way I was living was actually anti-health. Like I'm surprised that I'm even healthy today, but I do have good habits. But the main cause of all of that would have been so much different if I had just slept correctly. If I had just gone to bed every night between 8 to 10 p.m., I would be set. I would be golden, perfect even. But it was just because I was staying up so late and so consistently, and I just had no consistent sleep schedule. My body had no idea what to do with itself. There was no circadian rhythm. And there's so much that goes on during your sleep. I'm sure most of you watching this, if you like self-improvement content, you would know this already. But people don't actually get bigger and stronger in the gym. They don't grow in the gym. In fact, they're making themselves weaker. They're breaking themselves down. The muscle fibers in your body are getting broken down, and you come out of the gym weaker than you went in. But the magic happens while you're sleeping at night. When you go into bed and you tuck under the sheets and you go to sleep, your body is like, okay, this person tore up their muscles. We got to come back and we got to make it better. And so that we can take the struggle better next time. That's why your body gets stronger. If your body doesn't have to get stronger, it won't. It doesn't want to be stronger. Your body likes to be where it is. If you're morbidly obese, your body doesn't want to be skinnier because it's happy at where it is. The body doesn't like change. And that goes for all facets of life. It's just that a lot of people who are the way they are, they do it subconsciously, so they don't realize the work it actually took to get there. but that's also another story for another day. Tying back to sleep, because I keep getting so sidetracked, when you sleep, your body repairs, it regulates, it does cellular respiration. So when you're sleeping and you have old cells that need to be flushed out of the body essentially as waste, and that could be through your through anywhere, dead skin, boogers, pee, poop. I know it's a little bit graphic and gross, but I mean, those are all waste that must leave your body. Why do you think we pee and why do you think we poop? It's because when you eat things and when you exist, just bad things build up in your body. But thankfully, our bodies are able to flush them out and clear ourselves. And so that's a very powerful thing. Now, if you don't have good sleep, you won't have all of this. And that's why I was getting so sick all the time. It's because I just didn't have, like, my body wasn't able to give it a fighting chance. Because when I was awake during the AMs, when I could be healing and my white blood cell count could be increasing and I could be growing and be getting stronger. And also it doesn't help that my diet was bad. So my body didn't really have a lot of nutrition / resources to work with. You know, if all I ate that day was a bowl of cereal and then ice cream, you know, none of that in there, there's no micro or macronutrients inside of those foods that are going to be enough to help me get what I need to get done. That's why athletes are so locked in on sleeping. And there's just such a raw and primal power behind sleeping. And when you get into that bed, and especially you want to make sure it's extremely dark. I've taken up the habit recently of, you know, turning the lights off or lights out, so no phones or no computers, 30 minutes before bed, and I go to bed at like 9, and cutting out blue light. So I'll have like candles on, or I'll turn the LED lights red, because thankfully I'm able to do that. I know not everybody can, but if you can't, just turn the lights off and have a candle or something. And I just be like that, and it helps my mind unwind and calm down and be ready for sleep. And then when I lay down, before I do, I take some magnesium glycinate, some L-theanine, and a fish oil, and that just helps me sleep great. And you know, I sleep like a little baby, and it's just a good time overall. It's a very good time overall. I get to relax, I get to wind down, and I can feel my recovery during sleep, because in the morning, after you've gotten a good night's rest, you're literally Superman, especially for men specifically. Your testosterone is highest in the day. You have the highest willpower in the morning. Like, it's much easier to resist a box of cookies in the morning than it is at, like, say 12 at midnight. You do stupid past midnight. And I noticed that for myself anecdotally. It happens all the time. That's why you just need to go to bed. I feel like so many of the world's problems would be solved if people just prioritize their sleep, prioritize themselves. Like, if you went to bed at 9 every night, then there would be no chance for you to text up that ex saying, "Hey, you up?" at 12 a.m. You don't actually want to say, "Hey, are you up?" You're just doing weird because you're not sleeping, okay? I'm telling you, if you just got a lot more sleep, you'd feel a lot better. And make sure your room is as cold as possible. I need to look into the science. Maybe I'll tag something in the description or put something up on screen as to why it being cold helps you sleep better, but it does, and it increases your sleep quality. Obviously, have a blanket and stuff, because if you just sleep in the cold, you might get sick. But you understand what I'm saying. So yes, dark, cold, and 8 to 10 hours, or as much as you need as a teenager, especially because you're growing in height, you're growing in muscle, everything is growing, whereas an adult, you could be growing muscle, but that'd be mostly it, / maintaining your body, so it's different. But yeah, for adults, 8 to 9 hours, 8 to 10 hours. Teenagers, it could vary anywhere between 8 to like 12 hours if necessary, especially if you went like super hard athletically before you went to bed. It could be very much normal to have or need 12 hours of sleep. I can speak from experience. And I also feel like my body is doing some catching up in terms of that, you know, like, because I didn't have good habits as a child, my body had to catch up to like get to the right level. Like, for example, I don't know if the camera can see this that well or if the lighting is good enough, but I do have bags under my eyes, and they may be slightly genetic, but it's definitely because for most of my childhood I just didn't get good sleep, and that's just how it is. And so I'm telling you, my thoughts weren't particularly well articulated during this video, but mostly what I just wanted to get across is just that sleep, especially consistent sleep, your body likes to be on a schedule. That's why we have the circadian rhythm. And what do you think your ancestors did? They went to sleep when the sun set, and they woke up when the sun rised, and it was just that simple. But now we have all this technology and phones and stuff, and I fall victim to it as well. It happens. Like, there's been nights where I'm just sitting there scrolling and I just can't seem to put the phone down no matter how much I want to. We all fall victim to it. But if there's one thing that you could take away from this video, it's that you should just, even if it's by a little bit, like turning off the phones 10 minutes before bed, just 10 minutes. If you have the willpower to just turn off everything 10 minutes before you go to bed, I swear it'll do, even if it's just a little bit, it'll do so much more for you. A little goes a long way in terms of that. And I know not everybody is as privileged as me as it comes to, right now I'm unemployed and it's summer, so I'm able to sleep in through my alarm, or like I don't need an alarm clock because I don't have to wake up for school or a job. And if you can do that, please do, it's amazing, but I understand. But say for example, you have to be up pretty early, like 5 a.m., go to bed earlier, go to bed at 7, go to bed at 6. Who cares what people say? If you need the sleep, you need the sleep. So I know I've said this a couple times throughout this video, but if there's one takeaway that you can have from this video, it's that you need better sleep hygiene if you don't already, and it's so important. So I'm hoping that after this video, you give it a little bit more mindfulness and you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a like and a subscribe. You know, it's so bizarre saying that, you know, because usually I'm the one watching and listening to the videos rather than saying it myself, but I really wanted to just try and start to get on the internet and get my stuff out there because I'm a pretty smart person. I think I can share a lot of value with the world. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying to do this, I'm doing this challenge where this summer I'm dropping 1 video a day per day, and I'm gonna just try and stick to that as best as I can. So tune in, check my channel again if you like this video, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, see ya. This is me adding this in post-production. I just want to ask how y'all feel about the censoring and the cutting of silences inside the video. If I should keep editing that way or do something else. Let me know in the comments. Thank you.